All right, kids, we knew it would come to this. Today I'm going to talk about Kendrick Lamar. He's been a topic of conversation of mine off the record for the last 4 years. I've been defending his greatness as an artist and using Still Dre rules against haters who say Kendrick fell off. I mean, how? His last album was Damn. There was this one tweet that said, "Men be looking exactly like their taste in music," and I wondered if I resembled Kendrick's song Duckworth. I still can't get over those beat changes.
He seen his first meal, 20 years old, had a couple of babies, had a couple of shooters, caught a murder case, fingerprints on the gun, they assuming all witnesses.
And of course, this channel is named after All Right. This past Friday, Kendrick dropped Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, his latest album, and days before that, he released a song and music video for Heartpart 5, which is what we're going to focus on today. At the risk of this music video being forgotten about some 7 days after we first saw it, and this video breakdown being later than others, I decided to wait to discuss Heartpart 5 until I heard the entire album so that Kendrick himself can inform perspectives being taken on this piece of art, which he co-directed with Dave Free. And I don't think there's much by way of hidden meanings in this music video, at least not anything I can prove. Plus, Kendrick performs in front of a red wall wearing a white tee with a black bandana around his neck and freshly undone braids in one long take. There isn't a lot of space for Easter eggs. Beyond the deepfakes of O.J. Simpson, Kanye West, Jussie Smollett, Will Smith, Kobe Bryant, and Nipsey Hussle, even the cover art to the Heartpart 5 single clearly features different hands, seemingly from the 6 people represented in this video. Many articles and video essays are outlining lyrics that some suggest correspond to which person Kendrick looks like at any given moment in the video. But I don't think this was K-Dot's intention. Arguments could be made for both sides of this thing. For instance, in the second verse, the line where he says, "friends bipolar," could be a reference to Kanye, who famously admits to having this condition, especially since the deepfake has Kendrick looking like Ye for that time being. But on the other hand, also in verse 2, when Kendrick talks about being in Argentina wiping his tears full of confusion, another peer has been executed, it's definitely about Nipsey Hussle being murdered in March of 2019. But at the moment of the video, Kendrick looks like Jussie Smollett. You know what might be the most interesting thing of all of this, according to Who Sampled, mere hours after the Heartpart 5 video drops, the rapper AK accused Kendrick and Dave Free of making an exact copy of the music video for his September 2020 single Family Tree. The video consists of AK similarly rapping directly to the camera in one continuous take, as deepfake technology turns his face into many rappers including Lil Wayne, Eminem, Tupac, Jay-Z, Drake, and coincidentally, Kendrick Lamar. Anyways, I feel like the overall theme for this music video is the culture, and for whatever rhyme or reason, why one is in their predicament, good or bad, positive or negative, with institutionalized racism in mind. With that being said, let's start by looking at OJ. All right, Kanye, Jussie Smollett, young, promising talent, still won't admit to orchestrating an attack on himself and falsely reporting a hate crime. Then there's Will Smith. I mean, he's meant so much to so many people for multiple reasons since the late 80s. Now, him and his marriage may be reeling after the smack heard around the world. The late, great Kobe Bryant, one of the best basketball players of all time. He plays basketball the way you want anyone to do anything. Take advantage of God-given talent, work hard at mastering your craft, and play hard and compete every moment. We have to admit that not only did he have an affair on his wife, but at the conclusion of his sexual assault trial, he admitted that he had become aware that the victim didn't see what they did as consensual. And as I mentioned earlier, Nipsey Hussle meeting an untimely end, being shot and killed by a black man. But then I got to thinking, if this is the case, then anybody and everybody could have been included in this music video as a deepfake. Here's what I mean. Produced by Beach Noise, Heartpart 5 features a sample of "I Want You" throughout the track, which is possibly Marvin Gaye's most blatant, direct approach to singing about sex, which is saying something because he has a song called "Let's Get It On." Kendrick could have deepfaked him because his life reflects many of the things I said earlier about the 6 individuals featured in this music video before meeting an early demise at the hands of his father. Furthermore, Kendrick uses an interpolation of a Jay-Z lyric from H to the Izzo where he starts out saying, "I do this for my culture." Kendrick may have deepfaked Sean Carter's visage too, based on his life and times. I guess what I'm getting at is, anyone living and loving in the public eye is subject to success, sensationalism, salaciousness, standing ovations, screwing up, and scrutiny. As Kanye said, because when you famous and you have made cash, the media aims at us and we'll be up so high if we ever fall off, it would feel like a plane crash. This isn't to say that Kendrick should have chosen 8 to 12 black men to emulate. I'm just pointing out that while Kendrick seemingly handpicked these 6 men, for whatever reason, it wasn't due to his lyrics. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. All 6 of these men have had to reckon with what they bring to the culture. All black men should. All of us. And that includes Kendrick Lamar. Twitter chose to remind everybody that Kendrick, or Top Dog along with Kendrick's record label, lobbied for R. Kelly's music to be included on Spotify playlists. And that's ugh. Also, for obvious reasons, and to further my point, R. Kelly could have been deepfaked here too, by the way. I recall being mad at Kendrick in 2015 after Michael Brown was shot and killed by a Ferguson police officer when he asked black people how will others respect us if we don't respect ourselves. For those who don't know the proper response to that question, ask yourself, when did this country respect black people or blackness? The crime bill, the war on drugs, segregation, Reconstruction, slavery, indentured servitude, or over in Africa? Long story short, this country's lack of respect for us isn't due to our behavior and our culture. What I appreciate about Kendrick and this video and his album is that he's contending with all of this, where he contributes to the culture, how he enriched himself, what he engages in. He's a top-notch influencer of the culture. He's not an innocent bystander of the culture, but a willing participant in the culture. And the last thing I need to do is make a connection between something that isn't there. Like this comparison made by Arnold Sam said on Twitter, remember when folks were like, oh, she dipped the Fruit Loops into the milk on Get Out to illustrate how whiteness can overtake your color/agency, and Jordan Peele was like, oh, I just wanted her to do something kind of weird. By the way, having heard Kendrick's verse on Nostalgia with Pusha T, I wouldn't put it past him to create something we'll need to use a compass and an abacus for. Before I close, there's a song called Father Time on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers where he describes some of the things that his father instilled in him, for better or worse. And it reminded me that I'm glad that my dad didn't raise me, but not having a father was difficult to overcome. I need to go to therapy. Poverty-induced trauma is real. My biggest takeaways from Heartpart 5 is actually my favorite parts of the music video, the beginning and the end. Kendrick started off with an on-screen unspoken message saying, I am all of us. To try and to fail, the 2 things I hate. Succeed in this rap game, the 2 things that's great. And as I alluded to earlier, with Marvin Gaye's Essence, Gross, as a music bed for this project, Weird, Kendrick concludes, I want you. Flipping what Marvin Gaye had in mind, in spite of how this country rejects his people, black people, our people. Of course, after listening to Kendrick Lamar ductwork, I feel like we gonna be all right.
Because you know what? I haven't been feeling really black today. So which is why I decided that I'm gonna be listening to some Kendrick Lamar until I get black to my old self again.